Hello friends, well welcome back. Happy Tuesday. This is take 2 of our goals and intentions pep talk because I got off on a tangent and my mind kind of got scattered. So I want to jump in here and I want to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to share with you something that I've been doing for the last 31 days, the impact that it's had on my life, the thing that I suggest you do. And I want to talk about holding yourself back when it comes to setting these intentions and goals. Now, number one, this is December 1st. It is the first day of the last month of 2020. And we all know that it's been a hell of a year. It has been a challenge for so many of us. We're kind of like, let's just get to the end and move on, right? But I want to talk about how incredibly important it is if you're not already setting goals, if you're not already setting intentions on a monthly basis, that you start doing this, right? So most people aren't doing this on a consistent basis. Most people don't actually do any of this until the end of the year anyway. They start thinking about, well, what is it that I want to create? What is it that I want to achieve in the coming year? And they're thinking about it in December for the whole next year, or maybe in January. And then they don't do anything else, right? And if I'm honest, before I got into business, I wasn't one to do a lot of personal goal setting or, I didn't really have a lot of things that I wanted to achieve from a month to month standpoint. But when I got into business, it became critical. And if you're in business or if you do anything like this, you know how important it is to track your money and to be mindful and to set goals and to do all of these things, right? But here's the thing. When I sit down to set my goals every month, like I'm going to today, I am not setting it just for my business goals. Like I'm setting personal goals. I'm setting fitness things. I'm setting my own, like, what else do I want to do this month? What is my focus? Where am I headed? What do I desire for this month? What do I want to be, have, and do this month, right? And here's why this is critical. Most people, I can't remember the exact statistic, but as people set their intentions, resolutions, whatever you want to call it, for the new year, probably 3/4 of those people don't do anything else with it. Like they've stopped tracking, they've stopped drinking water, they've stopped doing all those things that they set out to do by like February 10th, right? Most people aren't even getting through the first quarter of the year committed to their goals and their desires. And the reason is because it's not at the forefront of their mind. The reason is because they don't make a conscious and consistent effort in checking in with the thing that they're doing. They're not paying attention to it. They're not coming back to, number one, am I setting goals on a monthly basis? Number two, am I in alignment with what I actually set out to achieve, from Jump Street, like from January 1st? Am I on course? And if I'm not, I need to course correct, right? So if you're not setting goals, if you're not setting intentions, some people don't like the word goals, you can use intention, whatever you want to call it. If you're not doing that, then 9 times out of 10, you're getting to the end of the month and you're going, oh my God, where did the month go? Like, what did I do? I can't believe that like I'm at this point and what do I have to show for it, right? Even if you in your mind go, yeah, I kind of want to be more active, or I kind of want to read more, or I kind of want to do X, Y, and Z, right? So if you're not setting those intentions, whether they're financial, fitness related, health related, personally related, whatever that is for you, if you're not doing that, you're not achieving that because your mind isn't focused in that direction, right? So my first tip for you today is if you're not setting intentions and goals, if you have not done that historically, start here. Start today. It's the first day of December. Write down your goals. Get clear. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to achieve? Where is your focus for this month, right? When I sit down to do this, I do these, every month. When I sit down to do this, I look at different aspects of my life. I look at what do I want in my business? Where is my focus? What do I want in my personal life? What do I want in my financial life? What do I want in my health and fitness related life, right? And so I look at each of these aspects. I look at some of those habits that I want to change. One of them for December is to get up a bit earlier, right? So I've been getting up at like 6:15. I started this new workout program. So now I want to get up between 5 and 5:30 every morning for a couple of reasons. Makes me feel better. I get my workout knocked out first thing. I can do some of my mindset stuff in the morning, and I just feel so much better having that time for myself. That's a personal goal, right? But it means nothing if I don't write it down, right? It means nothing. So my first tip is for you to set your desires and your goals. My second tip is to be super clear and specific about what it is that you want to achieve. And I don't want you to go to this place of, well, I really want to, I don't know, whatever you want to do, like, don't shrink that desire, right? I had a client call this week. We were chatting about, she's in business. We were chatting about financial goals. And we were talking about this practice that I've been implementing that I'll talk about in just a second. And I kind of asked her, like, well, what is your goal? And what she shared with me as we were talking was that her goal was half of what she actually wanted, right? She was shrinking the desire based on what was logical and realistic and what she thought was more achievable. She was shrinking the true desire. Now, here's the problem with that. When you go, what I really want is to own my own business, live, footloose and fancy free. I want to be financially free. I want to be location mobile, be able to live anywhere I want to live. If that's your true desire, but that feels so far out of reach, or it's big and scary, or you're not sure how you're going to do it, or whatever, kicks in, and you pull that back and you go, actually, I'm going to shoot for a job that pays me $150,000 with maybe 4 weeks of vacation. Okay? You're out of congruence with your true desire. You're out of alignment. You're not in alignment with what you truly desire. So chances are, not only are you not going to reach that thing that you ultimately want, because now you're talking yourself out of it and saying, I don't believe I can have it, but you may not even reach that other more realistic thing because you're not in alignment with it. You don't really want to live, and work this job that gives you 4 weeks of vacation if what you truly desire is this location, mobile, free flowing business that's going to pay you and let you kind of travel wherever. You see the difference? So what happens, and logically, as human beings, this is what we do. We go, oh, what I really want is this big thing. I really want to be financially free. I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to do whatever, write the book, whatever, right? I want to do this thing. But instead of letting that be the intention and letting that be the focus and coming back to that and visiting that and doing all the mindset work around that to get to that place, we want that desire, but then we talk ourselves into these baby steps and go, okay, well, if I want that, then I have to set this goal and this goal and this goal and this goal. I have to start here and here and here and here and here, right? I have to take the logical step-by-step staircase approach. And I get it. Logistically, logically, I get it, right? We want to be realistic. We want to be real. We don't want to be disappointed. We want to be the person that goes, I want this thing, and then I achieve it and go, yes, now I can do it. Okay, I'm going to baby step it up. But why are we shrinking it? Why are we talking ourselves out of these things that we truly want and trying to shrink our desires? That leads us nowhere. That is never going to get you what you ultimately desire. Never. So I'll tell you that you are probably doing this yourself, right? You're saying what I ultimately want is this, but I'd be happy if I got this other thing. But is that true? Is it true that you ultimately want this thing, but you'd be okay and content if you got this other thing, if you created this other thing, right? So I want you to really think about that. And I'm going to tell you that we all do this in some form or fashion, right? We all do this. I want this kind of partner. I want this kind of relationship. I want this kind of, lover, partner, friend, whatever, fill in the blank. But I'd settle for someone that, is like half that, right? You're never going to get that thing that you ultimately want if you keep shrinking your desire. That's not how it works. Because when we're talking from a mindset standpoint, what we're talking about is, I am getting my mind into alignment with this thing. Big or not, I'm getting into alignment with this thing. This thing is what I desire. This is what gets me super excited. This is what makes me feel passionate. This is the thing. And then when it doesn't happen quickly, or we're kind of shaky, or we're kind of scared, we talk ourselves out of it and we try to shrink it and go, but I'll be happy if I can get this little piddly thing over here. You see the difference? The energy is so different, and that's what most of us are doing on a regular basis, if we're even setting any kind of intention, right? Go back to number one, a lot of us aren't even doing that. So number one, you need to be setting intentions and goals. Just number one, period. I don't care who you are, where you are, if you're a business owner or not. I want you to set some desires, and I want you to set some intentions for this month. And then I want you to do it again for next month, and I want you to do it again for the next month. Okay? And I want you to be true to who you are. I want you to be true to who you are and what you truly desire. I don't want you to talk yourself out of it, because you are limitless. You have the ability to be, have, and do whatever it is that you choose. You have the ability to have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 months if that's what you desire. You have the ability of being location free with your job. You have the ability to write 1 book, 5 books, 10 books. You have the ability to be on TV and to do whatever it is that you ultimately want to do, but you have to decide it. No one else is going to give that to you. And you got to get this on board. And the best way to get your mindset on board with that thing is to not talk yourself out of it, but to spend time with that desire, to spend time in that realm of, this is what I'm creating, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm, intending, desiring, whatever you want to call it. I am getting my mind on board with that, because that is ultimately what I desire. This thing is happening. I'm calling it in. And really the timing of it, let's talk about that, because what I think tends to happen is we have this desire, we have this goal, this big vision, right? And if we don't talk ourselves out of it and we stick with the big vision, then a lot of times we go, oh my gosh, it's taking so long. Like, after a couple months, if it still hasn't happened, maybe I should just shrink it. But that's not going to get you closer to it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, shrinking it is never the answer. So what is the answer? In those moments, you go, I know it's happening. I know it's coming. I'm in alignment with it. I'm doing the mindset work. I'm taking the action. I'm investing in whatever I feel called to invest in. I'm following my intuition. I'm doing the things, and I'm spending time in this energy, and I expect it. I have decided. I know it's a done deal, right? There's a saying, and I wish I had the specific quote, but there's a saying that's a little bit about being patient. Like, when you know it's a sure thing, and I think it comes from the Course in Miracles, but when you know it's a sure thing, when you know, it is a done deal, it is unfolding, it is your reality, it's coming to you, it's on the way, it's already unfolding, you can have as much patience as you need, because you're not worried about the timing. It doesn't matter. The timing really doesn't matter, because you know it's a done deal. That's the kind of certainty I want you to have, right? That's the kind of certainty and mindset that I want you to have when it comes to these big desires. And I don't even like to call them big, but in our minds, we think of them as like this really ultimately big thing, right? So the thing, number one is to set your intentions. Number two is ask for what you really want. Be clear. And I don't mean ask, I mean decide on what you really want and go for that. Don't shrink it. It's not going to get you anywhere. You are limitless. You have that desire, that big desire, for a reason. So go for that thing, right? And then the third thing I want you to do, or I'm going to encourage you to do if you're not doing it, is something that I've been doing for the last 31 days. As of today, it is 31 days. And I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm going to tell you why I was doing it. So I've been reading books. I've been talking about this. I talked about this a little bit earlier this year regarding goals and desires, right? And I just finished a book that talks about the top 1%. The most successful people in the world do this specific thing. And this author actually does it twice, right? So the most successful people in the world, the people that are the achievers, that are, doing the thing that they want to do, that are, achieving their life's dreams and goals, write down their goals every single day. They write down the same goal every single day, and they write it as if it has happened in the present tense. It is a done deal. This is the big thing that I want. This is the big thing I'm reaching for. I'm writing it down every single day. And so I realized, number one, I've been sort of copping out a little bit I have been over the last year, kind of copping out. I wasn't really doing mindset work on the weekends. Life got busy. I wasn't being as disciplined with it. And I haven't ever really sat down to write my goals. I've done the mindset work, but I haven't written them down, like specific goals that I wanted to achieve. So I decided, I think it was October 31st, that starting November 1st through the end of 2020, I was going to, for 61 days, I was going to write down my goals every single day, and I was going to do it once a day, right? I was going to write them down. I was going to sit down every single day. And if I even didn't get a chance to do all the journaling, I was going to at least sit down and do that. And so today I finished writing in this particular journal. I finished with day 31 of 61, where I wrote down my goals every single day. It wasn't always the same time of day. It wasn't always, the perfect timing, but I sat down, I decided I was going to do that every day. And for me, it's mostly an experiment. Like, what happens when I do this? And I'll tell you that one of the goals, I think I had about 10, one of the goals happened in November. Now, I realized that I need to make some shifts to my wording, because while it did happen, it didn't necessarily happen in the way that I had envisioned it might, but it happened, right? So why am I sharing this with you? Number one, I think it's super powerful to write down your goals every single day, to write down your desires, to write them down as if it's a done deal. It has happened, it is unfolded, for a couple of reasons. From a mindset standpoint, what it does is it brings your mind and awareness into this place. It's like an affirmation. You're writing it every single day. There's something that happens between the mind, like the muscles, the brain neurons and all of that control the writing of it. So there's a power in not just, reading it every day, but writing it every single day, right? There's something powerful about that. Now, the author of this book I'm reading, that I just finished, he actually does it twice a day. Like, he goes above and beyond. And I haven't decided if that's something that I'm going to commit to. I may start that in 2021, but writing it down every single day has been so powerful. It has been so powerful. It has gotten me into this place of, this is a done deal. This is what I'm creating. It feels good. I don't question it. I know them like the back of my hand, and it's just part of the process, right? So I treat every new habit and every new thing that I do as a little bit of an experiment, because I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens when I do this thing, so I can report back to you and I can offer it to you if you feel called to do it. So the thing that I want to drive home about this practice is, it is a mindset practice, right? So even if I wasn't doing my full journaling of affirmations and really getting into the vibe and the zone and all the things, I was still bringing my awareness to these big, massive goals that feel so good. And by the end of, this is 31, right? Day 31, they become so natural. There's no question in my mind about the validity or the truth of these desires. There are multiple things. Like, again, I have 10 of them. So one of them came true. One of them happened in November. I still have 9 others that haven't come true. But when I write them down, I'm not thrown off course. I'm not thinking it's not happening. I'm not convinced that I don't get to be, have, or do those things. I know it. I'm writing it. I am saying it, stating it, engaging with it every single day. I am repeating it. This is becoming a natural, normal. Of course this is going to happen. Like, it is a no-brainer, of course. And then when there are moments where I might start feeling a little off course, or I don't know, I'm wobbling in my belief, or I feel fearful, what do? I grab that journal and I add more. So my process is, I do my mindset practice as I normally would. I do my journaling, a couple pages depending on what comes up. I do a couple pages, and then I write what I call my it is done list, my goal list, my it is done. At the top I write it is done, and then I write my list, right? And then if later I'm feeling a little wobbled, I will go back and I will do another couple pages of affirmations, and just reminding myself that I get to be limitless. I get to be, have, and do what I decide. I get to be, have, and do. And that is the power that this practice is bringing. So I will probably do a recap at the end of the year, and share with you an update on the practice, because again, I have another 30 days of this, and let you know kind of what has unfolded, what my journey has been. And for sure, I'm going to continue this in 2021. But the thing that I want to share with you is, if you want to create this thing, this life, this transformation, this change, then you have to be willing to do something different. You have to be willing to experiment a little, to get out of your comfort zone, to invest in a program, invest in a coach, buy a book that you wouldn't normally buy, take a different class that you wouldn't normally take, do something different, right? You have to be willing to do that, because if not, nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? And what I know to be true about myself, about this work, about this interaction with you, is that we are here, we are called to live out our desires. Like, this is what we're here for. My purpose is to work with not everyone. My purpose is to work with those who feel called to step up and live their desires, step into their power, so that they can go on and impact and change the world, right? In whatever avenue that looks like for them. My job is to empower those who feel called. And so that means that I'm going to share this experience. I am doing this in my life, not just the business part, but my personal life. I am practicing these new things. I am sharing habits. I am reading new books. I am taking these big steps. I'm investing in programs. I'm working with coaches, because I know that that is what it takes for me to get to that next level. It's what it takes for me to walk this talk and to show you how it's done, for those of you who feel called to join me, right? So I share all of this and I get super fired up about it, because I know what is possible. I have gone from not even ever really dreaming of having a business, just wanting to change lives, to having a business, doing this work for 7+ years, which is incredible. Being able to maintain a business even in and amongst a pandemic, right? Like, it doesn't make logical sense. But it's the mindset work, it's the intending, it's the doing something different, it's the consistency that is the key. So I am going to leave this here, and I'm going to extend the breakthrough bundle offer through tomorrow. I'm taking the link down tomorrow. Will no longer be available. I'm making changes. I always do this every year. At the end of the year, I kind of look at my programs. I'll be increasing rates, doing different things, looking at what I offer. But if you want a breakthrough, if you have a desire, if you have set these intentions and you're ready to literally get to the other side and you want to stop making excuses, then this bundle is for you, okay? We have the session together that's gonna blow your mind wide open. You get the masterclass, again, blow your mind wide open, and then you get an additional pep talk with me. So if this is something that you feel called to do, if you are ready, if you are tired, and again, I'm not speaking to everyone, because not everyone's going to jump on this. Not everyone's ready. If you're ready to make the change and you're ready to stop making the excuses, then this is your invitation. The link is coming down tomorrow. So my tomorrow, probably around 9 a.m., which is like 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. I'm taking the link down. It will no longer be available. And we're just going to keep powering through. So if you feel called, if this has you pumped up, if you feel like I'm speaking to you and you know that you're ready to be ready, to get to the other side, to ask for what you want, to be clear about that, and ultimately move through the stuff that's holding you back, we can do a lot in 60 minutes. I promise you that, okay? So if you're interested, I'm going to drop the link below. Join me if you feel called. If you know someone that this would benefit, send the link to them. Again, it's coming down tomorrow. So I've extended it. I was really kind of tapping into, who I need to talk to, what I need to talk about, and this is what came out. So let me know if you have questions about it. Again, it's coming down tomorrow. But if nothing else, write down your goals, set your intentions, be clear. Don't cop out on what you really want. The reason you want it is because it's something that you're supposed to do. The reason you want it is so you can create it and show others that that is possible for them as well, okay? So write down your goals, do your intention setting. If you want to join me for another 30 days of writing your goals, I'd love to hear that you're gonna join me. Feel free to post a comment or send me an email. but I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that you got a ton of value out of this. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have questions, of course, please feel free to send them my way, and I will chat with you soon. All right, bye guys.